Monday.
The last day of March already.
March 31st. I mean, can you seriously believe that 3 months of the year have gone by?
Flying by. Curt and Jen, our podcast. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're listening. Already, I'm all phlegmy and stuff. That's left over from the weekend. So please like, follow, subscribe to the old show here. We'd appreciate that. What's going to come up on the show today?
What makes us uncomfortable on flights? GQ named these as super cool right now, and you will not believe what it is.
They're not super cool. Also, how did the Yankees hit 9 home runs in a single game?
There's seriously a reason. There's a single reason for it.
We have that for you. Also, old school things. This is our question from Friday. Old school things that need to make a comeback.
How, or I shouldn't say how, could you get a DUI for drinking too much coffee? And the best ways to save money on groceries and so much more, including things that people are doing that are good. I got teary. I got teary reading some of doing show research this morning, I should say.
And I laughed at it.
You did. You did laugh. Yes, you did, Curt Cruz.
Not you getting teary.
And I got teary.
All right, just to catch up on the weekend, I had a couple of fundraisers helping out with on Saturday, one for St. Therese School, another one for the East Side Community School, and both of them went very, very well, raised a lot of money, and they're good people.
For people that don't know, do you want to tell people how you helped?
Let me see, I emceed one of them, and my company provided the audio and video and lighting and all that kind of stuff for the other ones, so yeah.
And if you want to find Curt Cruz's company, you can go online.
Soundandsight.com. What did you do over the weekend?
Well, I did some boat shopping. We did not buy a boat.
I've got a boat for sale. You've got one right there.
I don't want a cuddy. And we
it is not a
went
cuddy.
to a couple.
That's an insult.
We had a couple.
It is not a cuddy.
What do you call it?
It's a mid-cabin cruiser.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I don't have the yacht lingo down, my friend.
Your little cuddy there.
I just have a little tiny boat. We don't have yachts.
All right, go.
Okay, I went to a few restaurants, and let me just tell you, one of the restaurants that we went to this weekend was Maltby Cafe, which, famous for breakfast. Love it so much. And when you go there, you usually have a long wait, which is fine.
Right.
Because you can go across the way to the antique store. Do you know what I speak of?
Yeah, there's an antique store right there.
That's going out of business because some company has bought that property, and is going to level the buildings to build houses and townhomes.
Well, that's a good use of that land.
Those buildings are from like 1910 or something, and it makes me so sad for the guy that has been there for 24 of those years.
Is he the one who chose to sell it though?
No, the people that own the land came in and said, we've sold it.
This is the guy that's renting the place for the antique
and
place.
They have 90 days to get out of there. So I'm like, Maltby Cafe, are you affected by this? And no one would say anything.
I'm kind of on the fence about those things because as much as I think it's great to preserve the old buildings and what have you, if the owner of that building is like, let me see, this guy's paying me $1,500 a month to rent this place. I just got an offer for $5 million for those.
He was fine with it. He got it. He understood. Yeah. He kind of said what you said, but still, it's just sad to see those things go. Did you want to know about my Kraken sweatshirt?
I'd like to know about your Kraken sweatshirt.
I have a new Kraken sweatshirt because I inherited a few pieces of clothing from my friend's fat wardrobe because she lost so much weight. So I have someone else's fat clothes.
That was not the story I was expecting.
That makes me feel so good.
I thought I'd be like, hey, my friend gave this to me because she doesn't want it anymore.
These don't fit me anymore because I've lost so much weight. Do you want them? Oh, okay. They fit me.
Which you heard is,
freaking great.
Hey, Jen, maybe you could stand to lose a few pounds. That's what you heard.
I'm trying and nothing happens.
We're going to go get those shots, okay?
We're not getting the shots,
Everybody's
Curt.
taking the shots. The shots, that's where it's at. I don't even know.
Even your doctor said he would not give them to you.
That's true. Sports over the weekend. The Mariners divided their first home game, their homestand series. They won 2 and they lost 2 to the A's. One of the ones they lost was 7-0. That's not great.
That is not great.
And then the NCAA men's basketball tournament is down to the Final Four. If you have your brackets, prepare to update. Who are the Final 4 that are left?
Auburn is going to be taking on Florida, and Duke is going to be taking on Houston. Both games on Saturday. There you go. That's as sportsy as we get.
That is as sportsy as we get. I love it. All right.
Wanna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle.
Big old jet airplane. What else? Big old jet airliner.
Well, why did I play that if you were just going to sing Jet Airliner?
I don't know because I just thought of it. Okay, things that make us uncomfortable on flights.
This is
There's
some
so
of
many
these are
things.
just, obvious, like no duh. And some of these things are like, I didn't really think about that.
Well,
2,000 people were asked.
Yeah, that's the thing. And they hear the top 10 things that came up. You just think about it for a second. What are things that make you uncomfortable when you're on a plane?
Let's leave this one for last.
Okay.
Which is the top one. So the things that make you uncomfortable on a plane, turbulence happens, loud adults happen, flight delays. That was
the bathrooms are gross. The crew is rude. People constantly walking up and down the aisles.
I'm a stander, by the way. At some point, I'm like, I got to stretch my legs. I will not walk up and down the aisles, but I will get out of my seat and stand there for a while, right by my own seat. So hopefully, I'm not making anybody uncomfortable.
Well, that's because if you walk the aisle, you run into like the people trying to do their job and get people food and drinks.
This is true. Also,
You bump into people if you have a big booty like me, big booty
I'm
Judy.
constantly bumped into. I've got broad shoulders to boot. Not getting to pick your seat is one of the complaints. The cabin is too hot or too cold.
Long waits for the bathroom. I don't worry about some of these things. Like, I don't worry a whole lot about flying.
The top thing, and I know that you're listening going, this has got to be it, and you're correct. The top thing that make people uneasy or uncomfortable flying, screaming kids.
What?
Which is too bad.
Because because it's annoying.
Well,
What is this survey again? Things that make us
uncomfortable
uncomfortable.
on flights, yeah. Which is too bad because you got to fly with the kids. I get it, and then their ears pop and they're screaming and what have you.
You know what it is? I'm like, why is that? It's because I think that you want to help, but you can't. There's nothing you can really do, typically. Give them a lollipop to hopefully do their ears differently.
What about turning around and saying, shut up?
That usually works too, Curt. Let's move on.
That does not work for the kids. They're like,
It doesn't help anybody.
they just cry even more. That guy said, shut up at me.
Morgan Wallen is one of my favorite country artists. I like many of his songs.
Okay.
And there's controversy right now because he hosted, or he was the musical guest on SNL.
Right.
And people are like all up in arms not because of the music he played, which he performed 2 songs on from his new album that's coming out on
just in case, and I'm the problem.
May 16th, I think it's coming out. So that's awesome.
Right.
But at the end of the show, when they start running the credits and they said their thank yous, Mickey Madison, who was the actress who hosted the show.
It's Mikey, but that's okay.
Mikey, I mean, what did I say?
Mickey.
Mikey.
See, it's like it looks like Mickey Mouse.
I knew it was Mikey, but
I did.
whatever.
That's when the issue happened at the end. Because usually the host and the musical guest, they all say, thank you so much, and everybody's applauding, and then they wrap the show, they play the music, fade out, but they're on stage the whole time.
Kind of interacting with the rest of the cast.
Right.
Well, Mikey does that, but Morgan just walks right off. He just like walks straight toward the camera and off to his plane.
He did give Mikey a hug. And then off he went. And then he posted a photo on Instagram with a caption on his private jet saying, get me to God's country. And he looked early on that they did some promos for the show, and he looked like he was kind of bored as well. So people immediately were thinking, something's up here. But he was already, at least one time, I think he was going to be on SNL during COVID, and he wouldn't do the
mask,
the COVID protocols or whatever. So he got bumped that time. Another time, I don't know what happened. There was I think it maybe a couple times he has not been on. So maybe he has a grudge against SNL.
I don't know. It wasn't that. He just says it was. He just didn't know. He just didn't mean anything by it.
We're done. Here I go.
He's going off to his jet.
Good music though. I will say that. And you want to go to the show, which you could do because it's coming here.
He's coming to Seattle at Lumen Field on July 25th and 26th. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com. It might be close to sold out, I'd imagine. Maybe it is. I didn't look. That was my bad. Try Ticketmaster.
He could sell out 2 shows at Lumen Field.
For sure.
No problem for that one. All right, here we go. Enjoy this.
Kazoo version? There's got to be a reason. That's nice, Curt. Thank you.
The Kazoo version of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Why?
1,780 people in Macon, Georgia, tried to set the world record for most people playing a kazoo, the largest kazoo ensemble.
So that's exciting.
Yes. So again, 1,780 people turned out. It turns out, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. They did not break the record because they needed to have a few more people there. In fact, 3 times as many. The record is 5,190 set in London in 2011. So how do you say we're going to break a record and fall that far short?
People.
Macon, Georgia, this is the 3rd time.
Oh, come on. They haven't learned?
This is the 3rd time Macon, Georgia has tried and failed to break the kazoo record. So I that's what we, I'm reading the story going,
what are they doing? Are they planning it all? Like, let's get people to sign up, maybe? Were there no shows? I mean, what happened?
Yeah, but if you have your list of if you've got 5,191 people.
You should probably try to get 6,000 people there and blow the record out. And if you fall a little short, like a few people don't show up here and there.
Still in.
Yeah.
But they fell way, way short.
Oh, my God. Macon, Georgia. Come on.
I'm not even going to say try again, Macon, because...
Well, 3rd time's a charm, but it was not for them.
That's right. Is the 4th time going to be a charm? This is some nice cat music.
This I do not believe.
It's not really cat music.
So there's this person that wrote in.
They wrote into what?
I don't even remember what it was, but I had to. I copied the story because I'm like, I have to mention this. It's a gal that said, my boyfriend insists on licking our cat to bond with her like her mother would.
Let's pause there for a second.
Okay. Because it just gets weirder after this.
I just want to reiterate. So the boyfriend says, you know what I'm going to do? I want to bond
I really want to bond with your pet.
So I'm going to lick it like the mother cat would.
To bond, yeah.
Okay.
So he actually got I did not know this existed, a tongue condom.
Let's pause there for a second.
Online, designed for humans to wear when they lick their cat.
A tongue condom. Can you get those at Amazon? There's a big sale going on right now.
Yes.
The big sale on, I don't know if it applies to tongue condoms or not. So this guy thinks that because they have a product that is that makes this a normal thing to do, licking their cat.
I mean, if there's a product, I mean, I don't know. I can't, Curt. I try to keep it family friendly, but I've heard of other things that you can use for things like this on.
Okay. Well, if nothing else, we learned that
I'm just going to hide my face right now.
There's such a thing as a tongue condom and cat licking.
We knew there's cat licking. It's just called something different sometimes.
Jen Pirak.
Dirty birdie.
Yankees. If you couldn't hate them more.
9 home runs in a single freaking game.
9 home runs. The final score against the Milwaukee Brewers, the Yankees 20. The Milwaukee Brewers 9.
Well, that's what happens when you hit 9 home runs in one game. This happened on Saturday, and there's a reason for it.
They
you want to
had
know?
Players that were using what they call torpedo bats. I've not heard of this.
They were not cheating. Actually not cheating.
Right. So these are the torpedo bats. They're thicker at the sweet spot rather than being an even,
That's
I guess.
What she said.
An even circumference down the grain. Again. That puts more mass where the hitter is trying to make contact.
Okay.
Major League rules, this is why this is not illegal. Major League rules say the bat can be no longer than 42 inches. The thickest part of the bat can be no wider than 2.61 inches, and the bat must be one solid, continuous piece of wood. So this does not break any of those rules. I guess it's just moving a little bit where the sweet spot and the weight of the bat is.
I mean, that's just making the game better, getting the equipment better for performance.
And the Yankees aren't the only team that are using these, so it's not like...
Well, they won't be anymore, that's for sure.
Torpedo bats are legal. Look for more scores like that. What was it? 20-9.
Seems like anybody who plays baseball wants to get a torpedo bat.
Is that what she said?
I mean...
I don't know when to use
if you can have better your equipment work better for performance, I don't know why you wouldn't. Okay.
You're teeing them up, Jen.
All right, GQ has proclaimed
these new shoes that are cool.
They're in fashion now.
Right.
They just did a big write-up
if you want to go get these, we'll tell you what they're called first. These are made by New Balance, right? And they're called the Allerdales. New Balance Allerdales.
Here's what the rest of us call them. Grandpa shoes.
Grandpa shoes.
I mean, seriously, check these out. Just Google New Balance Allerdales.
They're all white. And this actually, this is not unusual.
They come in different colors, Kurt.
Well, they're all the same color. So I think...
They're one color.
Right. New Balance, for some reason, I always thought sort of lent itself to...
Grandpa shoes?
Looking kind of like orthopedic shoes.
Okay.
Okay. They're all white with their little N on the side. But these are particularly downright orthopedic looking, and you can get them in brown. I mean,
thank goodness. But here's the thing about it. They're like designer prices at $250 US
for your grandpa shoes. The brown ones in particular.
I mean, is New Balance so excited about this proclamation from GQ?
That's who said they were cool. GQ, right. A writer for GQ declared that the brand has sidestepped the dad shoe trend and decided to go straight to the granddad shoe and put that into the mainstream. They say the granddad shoes moment is only just arriving and it might stay a while. Then again,
I have my grandpa's cardigan that I wear.
That's different.
I mean, but not at the same time. If I got my grandpa shoes and had my grandpa cardigan, I would be styling.
Evidently. Super grandpa.
I wish I had all the lingo. Like, I'd be low key on fleek or something. I don't even know.
Speaking of old things.
Oh.
Our old school question of the day. Okay. The question of the day from Friday. What old school things need to make a comeback? Did we have any suggestions of our own?
No. But I like everybody else's, that's for sure.
Do you remember, I'm going to throw this out there. Do you remember hypercolor t-shirts?
Yes.
That would change color with heat?
Yeah.
They were pretty cool, except for the fact that your pits were always like bright yellow on your whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, Kurt, you don't want to let them see you sweat, and that lets them see you sweat.
It's like, hey, look at these. I kind of think it'd be fun
if you have booby sweat. That it's just not good.
So old school things that need to make a comeback. Amanda started off with hangout places for teenagers, and she made some suggestions. I love my weekend nights at Encore, Scoochie's, Omni, Bananas, the Underground, and Club Broadway.
Amen, Amanda. I like it. Carrie said,
"Oh, we should mention."
What?
This got started because we were talking about the fake braces.
Right.
On Friday. Some people, or actually people getting braces because they think that they're cool.
They want metal braces.
And fashionable. So Carrie starts with, you know what? Definitely not headgear.
Which went with the braces.
Yeah, headgear's not making a comeback.
She said super fun playgrounds, but apparently they're too dangerous.
To which Phil replied, those hardcore tiny merry-go-rounds are okay.
I mean, those metal... yes, of course I remember them. I loved them so much. I'm like, go faster, go faster.
That was the goal. Go faster until you go flying off onto the concrete.
That's right.
Larry said, as far as old school things that make a comeback, honesty, truth, integrity, and kindness.
Amen. I like that answer a lot. Ann said, I think every child should experience a rotary telephone. Yes. Kim said, fun houses at amusement parks.
Did they get rid of those because too many people got injured, or what happened?
I don't know. Maybe they're too scary.
Jan said cursive writing and practice exercises like math without calculators and home ec.
Those things are not... I was just talking about that with a friend, that they just don't even teach home ec anymore in school.
Well, what about math without calculators? There was never such a thing as an open book test when I was in school.
Right, like memorize your multiplication tables and all that.
Phil, for some reason, thinks that outhouses should make a big comeback.
Yeah, but this is what I don't understand. Then Corey replied to him saying, after an episode of X-Files with the Fluke Man sewer monster, in the outhouse toilet water. Mm-hmm. As an adult, I fear outhouses now. She posted a picture on our Facebook post for this.
Of this thing coming out of the outhouse toilet.
It was icky. It was scary.
Unlike other things coming out of outhouses. They're not. Melissa said skating rinks, Merity, critical thinking.
Yeah.
Some people
think of the past.
That's a good one.
Laurel also said cursive writing. Kids don't know how to read it, so they should learn to write it and read it. What did she say?
Laura responded with, my son's signature on his driver's license is hilarious because he had no idea how to use cursive. So maybe he tried to sign it in cursive, and
he is 20 and now practicing. Yeah, because your signature, if you have a signature, your signature is usually using cursive.
Right.
Right? My daughter Macy only prints her name. Like when we have to sign papers for school, like I have to sign it and then she has to sign it.
Her signature is just
Hers a printing. It's just
M-A-C-E-Y?
it just prints it. Yep.
All right. Laura also said saxophone solos and pop music. I would agree. They can replace the stupid raps that pop up in the middle of songs for no reason.
Paul said Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Queen, Rolling Stones, and Van Halen. Rock
Solid
on, crouton.
List, Paul. Marilyn says history, like as a class. History
school-
needs to make a comeback. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Randy, yes. Two spaces after a period because now it's only one because it takes up too many characters when you're limited. That's real.
No, I know it's real.
I still do too.
So to be more brief on texts,
One
we're
one
just gonna
space,
change
not
this
two.
grammatical rule to.
I mean, but why do we have it, really? Why is there two spaces after a period anyway?
Well, you just said you were all for it.
I am because that's how I was trained.
Okay. Jenny says the old school thing I want to come back is just the stores I loved growing up. Sears, Kmart. We used to call it Kmart. Does that mean?
K-Marche is what we called it.
I want to shop like I did growing up. Oh, the old school prices. That'd be something.
That's what we need, the old school prices to be back.
I'd be very happy with the old school prices.
That's my answer for sure.
Thanks for participating, everybody. That was awesome. All right. Too much coffee.
Could get you a DUI.
If you drive after having too much coffee, of course, we've all seen the commercials. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Yes, it is.
But this guy, so there's a lawyer in Fort Worth, Texas, that's in the news claiming you could get a DUI from drinking too much coffee. He says the law doesn't specify it's booze or drugs.
So he posted a video. DUI and DWI, yeah, they could mean
Driving
also
under the influence and driving while intoxicated, right?
anything that would impair your ability to drive. Legal drugs can also get you in trouble. And he's specifically saying caffeine is a legal drug that if you have too much of, bam.
Yep.
There's
you
the
could get pulled
popo.
over. A guy in California got pulled over in 2015 for driving erratically, and caffeine was the only thing in his system. He was charged with a DUI for it.
Oh.
They dropped the charge after they couldn't prove there was enough caffeine in his system to be intoxicated from
Right.
it. But just so you know, that's the whole theory. Like, it's not specifically drugs and alcohol.
They're going after our coffee now.
They're going after your coffee. Be
I like
careful.
it.
Don't drink too much.
I like it. Since we're on the road driving, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
That's the theme for this story. Driving, smart or ridiculous. We'll let you what you think. We want to know. Zigzagging roads are being created to slow drivers down.
Well, one of the most popular tourist attractions in San Francisco is Lombard Street,
Lombard
the crookedest street in the world.
Okay.
But crooked streets may start becoming more common because they're trying to slow drivers down because we're driving too fast.
So in the suburbs, so they're talking like just little side roads are going to be zigzaggy.
You know how they do that? They have some of those like in Seattle suburbs. Do you know
That's
what I'm
true.
talking about? Where they put those little kickouts so that you have to like go around.
So they're talking about a street in Philadelphia. It has a new zigzagging pattern. The road itself isn't different, but the lines were repainted. The lines are repainted so that the lanes are wavy. Okay, so they didn't actually adjust the road.
Both the double yellow line in the middle along with the white edges.
Are zigzagging.
Yes.
There's a sign warning drivers of the new pattern. The idea is that it will slow people down. Locals are confused.
Well, I mean,
So you
just
used
stay
to
in the
go-
lines, people. Stay in the lines.
Right.
It's like coloring.
But you used to just go straight down this road, but now you got to go.
Well, I mean, I don't think the lines are going to help. I think that people are just going to keep going straight down until they put in barriers that make you go around.
Or speed bumps.
Yeah.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. People are calling it ridiculous, awkward, weird, and an eyesore. And even worse, it may not even work. So we don't want our zigzaggy roads
Well, you
here.
know, sometimes you just got to try some things and see what sticks.
Yeah. Their heart's in
Excuse
the right
me.
place, trying to slow people down.
Yeah. God, we're getting kind of law-y here.
Well, I threw this in because of the roads thing.
Oh, what is it?
Washington State Senate passes a bill to hike the gas tax by 6 cents per gallon. The gas tax
Why
in the
more?
state is already very stinking high. So
Why?
not making a commentary on this, just letting you know the Senate passed a bill 31-18 to sign it into law. That's going to increase by 2% annually to account for inflation. Apparently there is about a $1 billion budget shortfall. So they're increasing the costs of your gas tax by 6 cents per gallon, perhaps. And also, this would increase fees for electric and hybrid vehicles. including a bump to registration renewal fees from $100 to $150. Tabs are already, like, do you know what I mean? I paid like $300 a year for my tabs because it's done based on the value of your vehicle now, right?
I'm getting annoyed.
With
Pat
me?
and I had no, with this. Pat, my boyfriend Pat and I had a conversation about this. So if you have a budget,
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where they're cutting things down. I'm not going to go super political, but it's like, okay, let's keep increasing the gas cost or our taxes. But where are they cutting? Like, they're just increasing us paying things, and they're not looking at programs to cut. Like,
Right.
cut your budget. That will help. Let's start there instead of taxing us.
But and I think that's where I've never understood this. It's like people say, well, we need this, and we need more of this, and more cops, and more firefighters, and more this, and more parks, and but less taxes. It's like, well, you're not going to get more of these things without cutting something else. Like, well, you can't cut you can't cut this.
You have to look at things differently and creatively because they're not.
Right.
What happens is they keep taxing us, and nothing else changes except for they keep spending more money too.
Right. But
bologna slices.
But when are people going to be prepared for them to say, okay, well, guess what? You're going to have these cuts, so every teacher in elementary school now has 50 students.
Curt, I don't have the answer to that, but if you treat it like all of us have to treat our budgets.
Oh, that's never going to happen. How do you get a $7 trillion budget for the entire country or whatever it is?
I know. All of it needs changing. Something needs to change.
That I agree with. I don't know what to do, though.
Well, Hooters is changing things.
Nice.
The restaurant.
Nice. Are they saving us money in taxes? Hooters.
They're making things more family friendly.
They're referring.
I don't understand this.
They're referring to it as De-Hooterization of Hooters. So to me, that's like, okay, we'll change the name and everything.
Right.
The De-Hooterization of Hooters. If you haven't been to a Hooters in years, you're not alone. They've been struggling to stay afloat. They have, according to reports.
No pun intended. With
stay afloat. Bow. That didn't even make sense.
Okay, let's go.
According to reports, Hooters is about $300 million in debt, and last year they closed about 40 locations in the U.S. We used to have one on Lake Union.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So now they're trying to attract...
I went there for their wings.
I hope so. Why else would you go there?
That's right.
A lot of people use that excuse, though, and I wonder about that. They're trying to attract more business to Hooters by making a pivot to being more family-friendly. They're calling it a re-Hooterization, but it's more like a De-Hooterization.
Are they taking away the girls with the skimpy orange shorts and the tight tank tops with big boobies? Hooters
they didn't say
with the big
exactly what they'd be
Hooters?
changing, but it's safe to say the skimpy outfits and bikini nights will be phased out, it says right here, to make it more PG.
That's a hard rebrand.
Here's what I like about Hooters is that the servers
The wings.
No, the servers always come down. They sit next to me. They're very nice. They're very friendly, touchy, feely. Like, hey, it's nice to see you. And they always
And you go there for the wings.
Yeah.
And you never make eye contact,
No,
just
not a
looking
chance.
down at their chest.
I was always uncomfortable going there. It seemed like, okay, the wings aren't that good. Why are you beating your chest? What's that? I saw you.
It's too much.
All right, so keep an eye out if you're interested. Hooters is trying to de-Hooterize.
In a family-friendly Hooters. What fun is that? Oh, this is the story that made me cry.
Well, there's two stories that made you cry.
Okay, I just want to add in this little people doing good section of the podcast today.
Yes.
I'm going to say what it started with. I read the story about this gal named Tammy who took her younger son to Eaton Park last Thursday. I don't even, does it say what city it's
That's a
in?
business, Eaton Park. It's a lunch place here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, in Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah.
And when they were there, one of the servers there is 81 years old and she can barely walk, but she and her son overheard this 81-year-old lady say, well, I can't retire because I only make $981 or something crazy from Social Security, so I have to keep working. I've been a waitress all my life, so I just couldn't stop working.
So here comes Tammy Koznier and her young son saying, you know what, we may be able to help with this.
They just, on their own, they didn't even talk to the gal. They said, they did this little video. They said, if any video can go viral, let it be this one. Mm-hmm. Here's this lady, and they kind of showed her walking. She could barely walk, but she was doing her best to serve. She cannot not afford to retire, so TikTok fans, do your thing. Ready, set, go.
GoFundMe link that she put up there. Last time it was checked, people had donated over $300,000.
And there's also a video of her saying it hadn't reached $300,000 yet, but there was a video that she posted as like a follow-up telling this 81-year-old woman that they had raised this much money for her, and she just was beside herself.
At the point, it was at $100,000.
That's what I mean. It was like at $100,000. That's when she delivered that news, and now it's raised over $300,000. I just like it when people do good things. And then the Jelly Roll thing, that's the thing that made me cry too. Jelly Roll was in town at a concert somewhere, and he sent out one of his guys to see who would help him. Like he was pretending like he didn't have any shoes. And this woman
Hold on a second. This is not Jelly Roll. This is the guy that he sent out.
Yeah,
was pretending to be homeless.
It was Jelly Roll's person. One of Jelly Roll's people.
Right. And
this woman is like, yeah, I'll get you some shoes. Yes, I've dedicated my life to it. She was a drug addict. She was homeless, and she's changing her life around, and she's just doing good. She's like, I'm giving back. I thought I was going to die. My parents thought I was going to die. I thought I didn't deserve to live, but I was given a second chance, and here I am. I'm just going to keep putting kindness out there.
And so now this is when Jelly Roll's person says, you know what?
I actually had shoes.
I actually have shoes. I'm actually not homeless. We just wanted to see if there'd be people that were willing to help. And boy, did she got paid off big time.
Yeah, so they gave her tickets to the concert. And she knew she knew Jelly Roll was going to be in town. She's a big fan because he has the same kind of story. And
he came from very meager upbringing.
Well, he was homeless and addicted and went to jail. Yeah. And so she got to meet him at the concert, and then he surprised her with Curt Cruz.
I thought it was the concert tickets. What else?
A new car.
Wow.
Yeah, he gave her a new car. She didn't have a car, but she was still trying to help all these people.
Wow. Jelly seems to be a good dude.
He's really freaking great human. He recognizes that he did some wrong. He served his time, and now he's serving others.
That's the way it's supposed to work. Mm. That's a success.
All of us should be serving others. I mean, if we all help each other, just imagine how great the world would be.
Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks.
That was a good story.
Thanks for letting me, Curt. Now we're going to tell you ways to save money on grocery shopping.
I don't play that same music again.
Ways to save money on your grocery shopping.
Times are tight. It seems like every trip to the grocery store is more expensive than the last one. And so we have for you a few grocery shopping tips that can help you save just a little bit of money. Or maybe a lot of money. Some U.S. dollars. Important. So
try to skip everything in the middle of the store.
Shop the perimeter.
Yeah, that's where all the good stuff is.
Well,
the produce, the meats, dairy, eggs, all around the outside. Round the outside.
Right. But you got to go to the middle to get the cookies and the tasty stuff. Make a list and stick to it. No impromptu trips down the Little Debbie aisle.
The hostess aisle. Yeah. Yep.
Shop around at all your... I'm not going to do this.
Shop around at your nearby grocery stores until you figure out which one has the best prices. That's time consuming. But if you're really trying to save money, you could do it online, like look at online ads and stuff.
Right.
Buy generic brands is another way to save some money.
Eat a big meal before you go to the store. It says that makes you do less impulse buying if you're full.
Can we go back to that generic brands one?
What's that?
At Costco, I was in line and I was buying some Flonase, and it's very expensive, but it's what my doctor suggested to try to help me with some
allergies. And
yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
And the guy that's checking me out, the guy that works at Costco says, have you tried the Costco brand of this? It's like $50 less than Flonase. It is the exact same thing. Wanted me to go get it, have someone go get it for you? I'm like, yes, please. Same thing with the mayonnaise. They're the Costco brand mayonnaise. The guys told me down the alley, he's like, this is Best Foods. It's just relabeled.
Is Flonase is like $100?
No, Flonase is like, I don't know. It was like, what was it? It was a lot of money, like $50. Let's just say it was $50. Okay. This one was over half off of that.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said it was $50 cheaper, and I was like, gee,
I thought it said $20. 20.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's over half off. Anyway, that thing works.
Okay,
continue on. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Check and this is what I do because I'm just like
I do this too.
Check the price or the cost per ounce or per whatever. They always break it down. It's like it's $9.99, and down here it's like 33 cents per ounce, but this one over here is 32 cents per ounce.
I do that. I try to teach Macy too to look at that.
But then I get that analysis paralysis thing. I'm looking at all of them.
I know which one.
What meal plan based on what will spoil first? I've never heard that.
Yes.
Less food waste means more money in your pocket. That is true.
I am bad about that. I throw away way too much. It's
We
terrible.
just had to throw away a bunch of blackberries yesterday because I went to have them. And you forget. It's like, I thought these were just bought a couple days ago. Actually, it was a week and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Really bad. I need to be better about that. I'm really trying.
If you can afford it, buy all your non-perishable items in bulk. That's a good idea.
Yep. Mm-hmm. In the aisles, look high and low. The most expensive stuff is usually easiest to see and reach.
I didn't know that. It makes
You
sense.
did it? Yeah.
They'll put the pricey stuff right there to get to. Mm-hmm. And shop your pantry first and clean out your fridge. A lot of times you can find something to put together. No better way to save money than eat the food you already have.
That's kind of goes back to the don't meal plan around what you have.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm bad about that because I would go to a restaurant every day and Dan's like, we're eating at home.
Yeah.
And she's right.
Pat and I are trying to do more of that too because it's just things are just so expensive and times are tight.
Like, why do I buy
Times
all
are
this
tight.
food if we're just not going to eat it?
Seriously.
All right.
Okay, here's our question of the day. This is a good
like
one.
it.
This is us getting to know you better.
And this will be, since we're Monday, Wednesday, Friday now, you got a day and a half or so, 2 days almost, to work on this one. The question of the day, we want to know a fun fact about yourself, about you.
That people would find hard to believe. That's the thing.
Let's use
Like,
Tiger. Let's use Tiger's example because people just found out our friend Tiger was the original Mariners moose.
Yeah.
He posted a Facebook video of him being pulled behind like a 3-wheeler, and he was on rollerblades, and he went over a little ramp. And
You could never do that now.
Yeah.
Never would they let you do that.
Fact, like, hey, I was the original Mariner Moose. People are like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I
knew that about Tiger.
I used to own a Subway restaurant. People don't know that about me.
Good fun fact about Curt Cruz.
Yeah, back when in my radio day, well, yeah, they're all radio days. That's all I ever did. But at one point, we bought a Subway restaurant. What about you? Anything?
I mean, I guess my fun fact would be I used to work at Above the Belt, and in high school, was it high school or college? I can't remember which. I sold a pair of overalls to Ken Griffey Jr. and didn't even know it.
I had a conversation. I did the same type of thing. I'm a dummy. It was at a conference, a radio conference, and they had this guy. This guy was clearly like a basketball player, and they were having to talk with. He left. I was like, "Who is that?" Charles Barkley. Okay, well,
Curt.
It was a long time ago. He was just starting out, but I had no idea. So anyway, that's what we want. Fun facts about you that people would find hard to believe. We'll be back on Wednesday to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Good show.
We appreciate you being here. Mm-hmm. You know what tomorrow is, Curt?
It's the
April Fool's Day, so be aware of that. Tuesday is April Fool's Day. It is also our 1-year anniversary from when we got fired from the radio station.
Wah, wah.
That's okay. We have bigger, better things going.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, blessings come from hardship.
And you don't need to know this, but the ratings that they did from the format flip, terrible.
We don't need to talk about
Could have
that.
told you that was going to happen.
We don't want to talk about that.
I do want to talk
We
about
hope that you have a great day. Beware of people playing April Fool's jokes on you tomorrow, and we'll be back with a new episode on Wednesday. In the meantime,
yes.
Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness,
And laugh, please.
for the soul.
Thank you.